Right. So today we're going to really like deep dive into something that's pretty important for like all of us, right? Like our futures. I'm talking about index fund investing for retirement.
Yeah. Retirement's important.
Huge.
Big one.
And we've got a ton of like research and info to like unpack here. So you can feel good about like the decisions you're making about your money,
Yeah.
down the line.
Absolutely. And what's really interesting about index funds is that they can be a total game changer when it comes to planning for retirement.
Right.
It doesn't have to be super complicated.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So let's back up, like way up. Imagine you're like 30 years old, just starting to really, think about retirement seriously.
Okay.
Like, you should be investing, but like, where do you even begin to build a portfolio that's going to last, for like decades?
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. And that's where index funds can really come in and be super helpful. They basically make investing a whole lot simpler by giving you like a slice of the entire market. It's kind of like, think of it like a basket of stocks. Okay, so let's say the S&P 500. You're investing in how all of those 500 big U.S. companies perform all together.
Oh, so it's not like picking individual stocks then.
Exactly. It's like going with the whole flow of the market,
Rather than trying to guess which companies are going to do well or not.
Exactly. Yeah, and actually, historically, that's been a pretty good strategy.
Really?
Yeah. One study from the Schwab Center for Financial Research actually found that over the past 20 years, the S&P 500 index has actually done better than 85% of those actively managed large cap funds.
Wow. That's a big percentage. That's a really compelling stat.
Yeah.
But okay, so you've got all your money in the S&P 500. Isn't that kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak?
Yeah, that's a good point. You definitely don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. What about diversification?
Exactly. And that's another area where index funds are really great. You can pick and choose index funds that zero in on different parts of the market, like tech or healthcare or even international stocks.
No, okay.
Or you can even find some that cover like the entire global market.
Wow.
So yeah, it's all about spreading out your investments, and that helps to lower the risk,
So you're not like tied to the what happens to one company or even one country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, so I've heard people talk about actively managed funds. What's the difference between those and index funds? And like, why are index funds often seen as better for retirement?
Well, actively managed funds have these portfolio managers, and they're like stock pickers. They're trying to beat the market,
Oh, so they're like in there every day picking and choosing.
Yeah, they're trying to outsmart everyone.
Okay.
Which sounds awesome in theory, but a lot of times it comes with like higher fees, and it doesn't always actually lead to better returns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, index funds, on the other hand, are passively managed, meaning they just follow the index.
Okay.
Which means lower fees, which means more of your money is left to grow over time.
So for the long haul, index funds seem like the way to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so how do you actually get started with this stuff? Where do you even find these index funds?
Well, there are a few different ways you can do it. Your workplace 401k often has some index fund choices already in there.
Okay.
You can also open up an IRA, which is an individual retirement account, and invest in index funds that way.
Right.
Or you could use a regular taxable brokerage account.
So lots of options.
Yeah, lots of choices.
Okay, so say I'm looking at these accounts and I'm trying to like figure out which specific index funds to go with. What kinds of things should I be thinking about?
A few things. First off, think about how much risk you're comfortable with. Are you cool with the market going up and down, or do you prefer something more like stable?
Right.
Then consider your time frame, like how long do you have until you retire?
Okay.
The younger you are, the more time you have to like ride out any market dips, so you might be okay with a portfolio that's a little more, aggressive.
Okay.
And then finally, like, what are your big picture financial goals?
So it's not like a one-size-fits-all thing?
Exactly. It's all about tailoring it to your own situation.
You really need to figure out what works for you.
Absolutely. And what can be incredibly helpful is talking to a financial advisor.
Oh, yeah?
They can really help you figure out like how much risk you're comfortable with, and they can create an investment plan that matches your goals, and they can help you with something called asset allocation, which is basically figuring out how much of your money should be in stocks versus bonds and other stuff like that.
That's great advice. Okay.
Yeah.
So to recap, it seems like index funds offer like this awesome combo of, long-term growth potential. They've got that diversification built in and those low fees. Like, it's pretty compelling for retirement planning.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The key is just to like consistently put money into your chosen index funds over time.
Right.
Even small amounts can really grow because of the magic of compounding.
Okay, so we've talked about like the good stuff, but this is a deep dive. We got to dig a little deeper. Are there any downsides to index funds? I mean, could there be times when actively managed funds might be a better choice?
Oh, that's a really great point. Yeah, while index funds are an excellent place to start, they might not be the right fit for everyone.
Okay.
Maybe you've got some really specific investment goals that an index fund just can't meet, or maybe you're really comfortable with the risks and the potential rewards of active investing.
Right.
It's really important to do your homework and carefully think about all your options.
Awesome. So there you have it, like a true deep dive into index fund investing for retirement. We've covered what they are, why they matter, how to get started, and even considered, some potential drawbacks. It's a really solid foundation as you take control of your financial future.
It really is.
Like you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Steer toward retirement.
Exactly.
Nice.
And remember, like, investing is a journey, not a race.
Yeah.
Stay informed, stay engaged, and keep learning.
Absolutely.
You got this.
You got this.
Thanks for listening
Thanks for having me.
to the deep dive.
Deep dive.
We'll see you in the next episode. Right. So